Folks, the Ethereum ETF is live. We've been seeing it live for a few days now, but it is not flowers and sunshine like we thought it would be. But actually, if you look at how Bitcoin's ETF did in the first days with a lot of outflows, then you know that it is actually doing fine. So let's go to the news about the ETF, Ethereum, and of course, Mt. Gox. Hello everybody, good to see you here again. Happy Friday, and we have a few things to talk about. The Ethereum ETFs have been live for a few days now. They started on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, and they have seen huge outflows. For example, just Grayscale, according to the article, lost $481 million on day one and $326 million on day two. So a lot of people seeing these kind of news, they become scared. But I'm gonna tell you to wait a little bit, to slow down a little bit. Why is that? If you go back a lot, if you scroll down on the video sections here of the channel, you're gonna find when we started covering the Bitcoin ETFs. Well, and guess what? Just as they launched in the following weeks after the launch of the Bitcoin ETFs, they had outflows. So money was going out and not in, which is something that is repeating itself with Ethereum. A lot of people seem to have like short memory loss or something like that, because it is not the first time that I hear, well, Ethereum is going to be the weak link, Ethereum is going to fall down, Ethereum is going to correct because it will be losing money. It's going to be hemorrhaging money from the ETFs, and that will affect the price. Well, guess what? We had the same thing with Bitcoin. And even though with Ethereum, we could see a lot more down pressure, it is still something that you should be okay with. Well, talking about data, Ethereum was at around 3450, so almost 3500 flat on Wednesday, but now we see Ethereum at 3147. So it fell down quite a while. Actually, that is not so good for me, because if you remember, I have a 3200 put that I sold. Let me actually show that right here. You can see that the 32 put is 18% in the loss. Again, maybe we can still get Ethereum above the 3200, so I can take full profit on that option. But you can see that the put for Bitcoin is at 6200, and we have a lot of margin for the 6200 there. So at least Bitcoin should be okay with this. Again, we have Mt. Gox news to talk about, but 6200 should hold by the time you're seeing this video, which is on Friday. We should have the results for this. I'm going to take a screenshot and post it so you guys can see at the end of the video how these options actually ended up performing. But that being said, a lot of people like me, for example, see the 32 or the low 3000 for Ethereum as an amazing price. I like Ethereum just as much as I like Bitcoin. Of course, Bitcoin has a huge place in my heart, but you cannot go with just one coin. If you're just a Bitcoin maxi, you don't know what you're doing. You should be diversifying a little bit at least. For me, ETH, Bitcoin, Solana, BNB, those are always going to be present in my portfolio. And when they fall, if I have cash, I'm going to buy more of these assets. So for me, the low 3000s is a good spot for me to DCA, to buy even more. That being said, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of scare, there's a lot of fear on the price itself that Ethereum can go to, because it fell down 8% just because of the ETFs. Again, people seem to forget what happened to Bitcoin. I think you should go and refresh your memory on how Bitcoin was performing throughout the first weeks after the ETFs launched for Bitcoin. So it was a lot of outflows. We had $1 billion of outflows for the Bitcoin ETFs, and I think we should see something similar on the Ethereum situation, but that pullback is expected, to say the least. And meanwhile, when all of these was happening, Bitcoin kept at 64,000. Of course, it was a little bit higher, so Bitcoin went down just a tiny bit to the 64,000 flat. So now it is at 64,002. With the graphical analysis, with the technical analysis, comes a lot of predictions of where Ethereum will be in the short term, and I'm talking weeks. There's a lot of speculations here. A few people think that this is just a slingshot all the way to the 4,000. Again, this could be amazing if true, because it is pushing down so much liquidity, all the supply zones. So there's a lot of people buying in the meantime that a lot of people are getting liquidated. We're going to talk about liquidation as always in a little bit, but all that liquidation is also becoming a lot of new money getting in, buying Ethereum at supply zones. So this could be a good entry point to see a profit being taken all the way at the $4,000 mark. Again, For me, it is buy territory. Every time it goes down, it is buy territory. If it goes down more than 5-6% a day, it is for sure a way for me to get in, to buy more. And comparing the jump price of Bitcoin when it actually started to rally after the ETFs, it went from around 40K to 70K. It went to all-time highs. That compared to what Ethereum could do, Ethereum could go from the 3,000, 3,500, depending on the price that it is, to 75,000 to 7,500. So that could be huge news for Ethereum lovers, Ethereum maxis, or people that are just longing Ethereum. Regarding people that are actually longing, if you look right here at CoinGlass, if we look at the data for the past 24 hours, we had $100 million of liquidations, and 100 million of those were long liquidations. So you can see there was a lot of people longing. There was a lot of people who were bullish on Ethereum right after the news, the ETF news, and they got wrecked. They got wrecked by $100 million, which is absurd for me, just to lose $100 million. Of course, this is not a single person. This is overall market across all exchanges, across all the data that can be gathered on the blockchain, which again, it is very little compared to the absolute monstrous liquidations that we saw a few days ago for Bitcoin, which was, I think, 480 million in a single day. But 100 million is still a lot of money, a lot of liquidations. And you can see most of the liquidations that we see right here are long liquidations. So the market corrected and a lot of people got wrecked. Honestly, for me, how I think the market will react is that we're going to have 1 or 2 weeks of negative flow, so outflow in the ETFs, because that's what we saw already, and that is what's looking like it is going to do. And then after that, we should start preparing for the long. How did I prepare? I already prepared because I have a long expiration option and I have spreads that are far away from expiration. So we have spreads and we have leaps on both Bitcoin and Ethereum. Of course, we should focus on Ethereum. So next video, I might open with you guys some leaps for Ethereum or some spreads for Ethereum to make sure we can profit from this option by at least September or maybe end of the year if we have options available before then. And Mt. Gox, we have Bitstamp that after a lot of inflows from Mt. Gox has been sending millions and billions of dollars to Bitstamp. Now Bitstamp is ready to start paying the creditors. So Mt. Gox was moving money from one wallet to the other, from one wallet to an exchange, to 3 exchanges actually. We had Kraken, we had Bitstamp, and Coinbase, I think it was, I'm not sure. But now Bitstamp started to moving these funds to actually repay users. So that is really good for people who back in 2014 lost money due to the hack and the fall of Mt. Gox. And Bitstamp is actually the last one, maybe not the last one. For sure, Kraken, I know Kraken already repaid on July 24th. It repaid everyone that they had to from the creditor side. And now we have Bitstamp. I don't know if the third one, which I forgot which one is it, if they already did it or they're also doing that as we speak. So Bitstamp, I think Bitstamp had the biggest size of creditors to repay. And I know it will take a little bit more time compared to the others because we have creditors in the UK, which is not very crypto friendly, and other parts of the globe, which they have to work together. Bitstamp will have to work together with governments to make sure everyone is paid, everyone can pay their taxes on top of that. So these distribution will not be just a 1-2 weeks deal, maybe months and months for everyone to get settled and everyone to get paid back fully. So that being said, let's take a look actually at my positions because they don't look very good with the Ethereum fall as we saw. Right now Ethereum is at 31.47. So let's take a look at our options. I already showed you this. We have minus 19% on the Ethereum put that we sold, the 3,200. Again, we're less than $100 from strike. So it could actually go over by expiration tomorrow above the 3,200 just to help me out. I don't know if that would actually end up happening the way I want. But again, it is a risk we are willing to take when we sell options. As I even said before, my streak of selling options was 100%, but no one can keep 100% win rate because technical analysis enough isn't gonna cut it. And why do I say that? Because we did our technical analysis and it looked good, it looked okay, but we could not predict that once the ETFs went live, we would have such selling pressure and such a huge movement in Ethereum's price minus 8% in less than 24 hours. So for the copy trading, if we go right here, we have the 0DT, which now has $90,000 in. So 64 people already joined. We have a lot of inflow. So thank you very much for testing it out, for trying it out. Again, if you want to join, if you want to try it out, the 0DT copy trading strategy, check the first link in the description, join our protocol and start trading, making money, or letting someone trade for you while we make passive income. And this one is 15% in the green for me. Very, very good. And if we go to the earn tab, this is where I'm suffering a little bit because the Bitcoin spreads are doing good because it is a 60K and a 62. So we have 158% on one and 40% on the other, but I have to 3,500 for Ethereum, and now Ethereum is at 3136. So I think these two, which they were in the green yesterday, I think they're not going to be in the green anymore, which is okay. It sucks, of course, but you can see at the bottom we have one for 2025. So even though this one is in the red right now, it is for next year. And if Ethereum does what Bitcoin did after a few months when it went from 40 to 70K, if Ethereum does something like that, then this spread right here will be very, very profitable for me. So these are all my positions. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, comment down below. We're always here, happy to help you, happy to answer all your questions. So leave a comment if you have anything that you would like us to talk about or cover in the next video. And don't forget to like, subscribe to the whole shebang. It helps the channel out, it helps us grow and make options simpler and easier to understand to everyone. So have a good weekend and I'll see you guys on Monday. Peace.